honor
to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash.
Double honors unto the elder apostles of the great millstone, the middle taught us this truth. And much love, greetings, and salutations to all the fellow laborers across the globe doing this work in truth and sincerity of the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect. All right, we out here another week here in Babylon the Great, in particular here in Sin City, Las Vegas. We out here to preach this word, to push the truth out. We out here for the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the true chosen people of the Lord, the 12 tribes of Israel, those that are allotted to be gathered by the word of the Heavenly Father. All right, and the Lord is calling for our people to come back to repent. Because right now, the earth is in gross darkness, so therefore you got iniquity increasing. All right, now our people don't have a care in the world as to why they should fear the Heavenly Father. They're just going about just doing what the hell they want to do. They're following after their own heart, their own philosophy,
own imagination.
Their own imagination. It's like they created God within their own mind to follow instead of following the God of the Bible. Hey, give me Romans 10 and 1 through was that 2, 3? But now you ain't got no excuse to be in your ignorance, because the Lord got men set up, to bring you the actual truth. To lead you in the right way of how to follow and worship the Most High.
That's right.
Through His Son Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right? Because you're the only people that's destined to be saved. But there's only going to be a remnant of you that's going to return back to Him. So that's what we out here for, man. Give me that in Romans 10.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High power of Israel is that they might be saved.
Is that they might be saved. All right? Because, hey, I got news flash for you people out there, man. The children of Israel are the only people that's destined to be saved.
That's right.
All right? You other nations, you don't have any business within this gospel, man. It doesn't concern you. Go ahead.
Verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a seal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
Yeah, man, our people have a natural zeal, meaning they fervent, for serving a higher power. For the most part, our people believe in a higher power. All right, but they're not following Him according to the truth. All right, they worship Him in ignorance. That's why the Lord said in John the 8th chapter, now is the hour when the true worshippers shall come to worship the Father, man. The Heavenly Father is a spirit, and they that worship Him must worship Him in spirit and in truth.
That's right.
All right. The Lord set up men to teach you how to, follow the truth and how to worship Him, man. All right. He set up pastors according to His heart that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, or knowledge and wisdom. Okay. So our people, they have a zeal, but it's according to their own ignorance, man. Whatever they feel according to their own spirit or their own emotions, that's what they're going to gravitate towards. But no, the scriptures already tell us how to serve the Heavenly Father, man. We have laws, statutes, commandments that He told us to keep. The fact that we deviated from that, that's the reason why we ended up in this situation that we're in. You wonder why you stay in the hood, why you still in the ghetto, why you still in the barrios, why you still in the reservations, why you can't succeed, you can't prosper unless you sell your soul in this society. That's because the Lord got you under curses, man.
Right.
Because you're refusing to come back to Him. So you're thinking that the Lord is taking too long to come back and save you, but really the Lord's been waiting on your ass to get it right. The Lord got His men out there for you.
He said, what was you who desired the day of the Lord?
But the Most High is very long suffering. Because the Lord has it to where everybody's gonna basically have the moment when they encounter this truth. Or the Lord, He's gonna make sure that every Israelite on the face of the earth that heard this word in one way or another, whether it be while you walking past a camp or whether you have an internet access and you watch the video. All right, you're gonna be judged by that, man.
Or even a news article slandering the men of the Lord.
That too. You know, these Christians, they try to get their little clout up by mentioning us. You might listen to them getting on us. That might have you go and watch what we're out here teaching. Either way, you're hearing the word now, in its truest context. Okay. Go ahead.
Is the book exactly what the brother was talking about?
And then we're gonna go back to that.
Is Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for the witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
That's how you know we at the end, because it's looking likely that the elect are already sealed. There's so much is going on, things are happening, very speedily, that we could very well be in that time where, the elect have, been sealed, man. And then it said, then shall the end come. Give me Romans 10 and 18, and then, matter of fact, he's already slacking. He's already in that same chapter. Jump down to 18 and then jump back up.
This is Romans chapter 10 and verse 18. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
How was that possible? How was that able to be done? Through the internet. Everybody has access to the World Wide Web. That's how there's brothers in different countries around the world. They woke up through listening to the elder apostles and different brothers in Babylon, man. And that sparked their faith, and they went out there and they taught. So the Lord's making it to where, he's extending his hand through the servants, the prophets. And we're vessels of the Most High's long suffering. Before he takes this place out, he got to give you warning first. And as he's giving you that time, to come back to him, he's sending little stuff here and there. He's sending plagues and pestilences to help show you that, he's getting ready to jack this place up.
Can I hit this right quick?
Go ahead.
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that at the very same time, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Yeah. So we measure the times diligently by constantly being preoccupied in the prophecies. We look at the signs that the Lord said would happen, what to look out for that would indicate, that he's, that day is nigh.
And those small signs are building our faith to pull people in and start believing more. Because you get closer and closer, you see something, you see a tsunami hit or a certain earthquake or whatever, volcanoes erupting everywhere, and now you didn't see somebody have been saying it way back in whatever year, because the internet, the moment you uploaded it, it's timestamps when you uploaded it.
The wars, the rumors of wars.
Yep.
That's a big sign too.
See, here in Babylon, you're too distracted. There's way too much going on here.
Yep.
Too much comfort, too much entertainment,
Decadence.
too much decadence. So of course you're not gonna pay attention to those things, But let the coronavirus, the way it's been building up over there in China, let it come over here and build in America. And watch how many jakes get serious all of a sudden.
Yep.
Watch when they start coming out to the camps and they start inquiring and asking questions. Because the Lord always said in Jake's affliction, when they start catching hell, that's when they want to turn to the Lord and seek Him. So it's really not enough cases here in America, man. Hold that.
No more. It says, verse 3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars in the people, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Yep.
So
these would be key signs right there. And we see that, for the past few years, we've been seeing that consecutive, man.
Yeah.
Devastating earthquakes, 7.0s, 6.8, higher in the Richter scale,
earthquakes that also cause the tsunamis.
Causing tsunamis. You know,
A
a lot of damage to businesses, homes. You know, people being found dead in rubble. A lot of death tolls increasing. It's causing economic damage. Hey, a lot of these natural disasters that the Lord be sending to these nations, that fucks up their economy, man. It costs billions in repair, man. You know, you got to pay to not only get it all cleaned up, but you also got to pay for it to be rebuilt. You got to pay for emergency services. You know, so that costs, man. It also talked about uproar, so of course you're gonna have people that's, they're not pleased with their own government. So they take matters into their own hands. They figure out a way to, be vocal against the government. Whether they go out there and protest, whether they go out there and riot, or even if they, set together coalitions or militias or coups to try to overthrow that current government.
Look what happened in January 2020, right? In Virginia. All the militia, Edomite militia groups got together because they're unhappy with how divided the House is. And it's divided away from furthering or reestablishing, should we say, their rulership. And watching the rulership slip through their fingers.
Yeah, they losing certain rights. I feel like they're losing, their Second Amendment right.
They got something called red laws now.
Yeah. Red flag laws.
Yeah.
I think Vespucci came here and stayed with the Seminoles. Just theory, but I haven't studied it.
Yeah, it is. He did.
Vespucci?
He did.
Yeah.
Amerigus
He did.
Vespucci.
Yeah, he did. That's how
Yeah, I started looking it up, and
Yeah, that's how it was named after
because
him.
they said the letters were a fraud, but the German guy put his name on this continent.
Right.
I think
They went to
South America might have had a
Hispaniola.
different name before.
Yeah, they went down to Hispaniola, the islands down there too, and that stuff was landed first.
So
When they
you've
first
heard
landed
stories
over.
about it?
Absolutely.
Through like Underground Railroad or Tribal Legend?
But I think maybe
That's what I'm
tribal legend.
thinking. I wanted to try to research that way because
Yeah.
there's too much cloudiness in books. And
Why? But why? Answer this question. Why?
my
did-
great-great-great-grandfather was Amerigus V. Clark. Parents weren't on the birth certificate. Sacagawea may have had a daughter and they just quit writing about it. And Clark adopted them. My family, it goes back to 70 miles out of St. Louis, where Clark died in St. Louis at his mom's house, they said. But my family, I have an ancestor born about that time, Amerigus V. Clark, no parents. I'm thinking it's Sacagawea's kids had a kid. And because Clark adopted the son, they say, but they never talked about the daughter. Well, I started looking into it more because somebody handed me genealogy stuff a couple years ago. And I got this. They say Clark and Amerigus's Vespucci stories may have been mixed up. Well, my dad told me. Okay, first I read there was a conspiracy, and they wrote a president a letter saying conspiracy about Lewis being killed.
Because the natives, they want to wipe them off the map. So when they started registering them in the census, they were killing them also. So they stopped talking about
running
it.
Indian
That's why they
schools.
wouldn't. Exactly. That's why they wouldn't put them in the legislation.
Anyway,
and for you might want to know that information. That's why it is important.
Okay, say that again because I missed a couple.
It's important that you know that information because if you're on this sign, you have an opportunity for salvation. If you're not on this sign, you don't even have a chance. That's what it says in the Bible. And those people that you just pointed out, if you're connected through that father line, you may have a chance. Because the records are all
Hope
muddled.
that your fathers don't go back to the men who enslaved and slaughtered these people.
They said somebody investigated it, wrote a letter to the president, second president or whoever, saying they think Lewis was killed, it wasn't suicide. They think it's a conspiracy. Well, my dad said Clark got bled out for pneumonia. Hence, about that time, Amerigus V. Clark was born.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where they came up with the Columbia necktie slogan. Clark got bled out from pneumonia. He was off too, just like Lewis, I think. Because that's coming through family history.
If you have with it
Straight from
halfway
my
there,
dad's mouth.
halfway there, find out your genealogy because it matters.
Amerigus V. Clark.
As close as you can get it. Well, at the end of the day, let me say this. At the end of the day, what really matters is whether you gravitate to what this word is talking about. And what this word is talking about is that there's going to be martial law. There's going to be World War III. There's going to be famine of food. Famine of
some of the stuff they talk about in the future, I think may have already come to pass.
Like what?
There's a few soldiers that were blocking a mountain pass the biggest army in the world was trying to cut through.
Yep.
Maybe that was where the blood was up to the bridles. Just
No, that didn't come.
That didn't happen yet.
That's not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
That part
we
didn't
weren't
happen.
there, so.
That part didn't happen. Anyways.
And Jesus' temptation from Satan to eat when he was fasting. I understand that story a little better too.
All right.
This city's probably could be built on $1 billion pounds of gold.
Okay, man.
If they unearth this, it'd be worthless.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man.
Yeah,
Esau got they got an answer for everything.
Esau got it, but they always put their 2 cents in.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what? And when you grow up white, not that I know that, but when you grow up white, you feel like you're supposed to be in that position.
Oh yeah.
And so, just like what Jake would do, he got to come up and prove himself. That's why it's hard to tell. But Esau would have came and pushed his madness on us if that was completely an Edomite.
Yeah.
But my point was, he's doing the research. I let him talk because he was doing the research. But at the end of the day, if you don't gravitate to this word, the research don't matter. It do matter for the kingdom of heaven, but getting salvation in this time, the day of the Lord, it don't matter. Okay? But if you're over here talking about you understand the genealogy that your family, like the brother said, you better hope that you was a part of the line and not the adopted line, you know, or the enslaving line, the one that enslaved the people that were adopted. Okay, because the Lord is still angry at those things. Not to go off here, you know, you can't spit that out.
Oh, wait, remember where I was at? Let's read.
We're talking reading Romans 10 and 18.
Okay.
Read that.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
It's Romans chapter 10 and verse 18. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, barely. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
Yeah, this word that made its rounds throughout the earth. All right.
And I was reading right after that.
Well, you're using second Ezra 9.
Yeah, 2nd Ezra 9. Yeah.
God, because you know we're dealing with
How
the Lord.
things have to happen.
Things are happening. The Lord is showing His signs, and as He's doing that, He's trying to call His people back to Him.
Yeah.
But our people, even regardless of showing them all these major signs, you know, Jake is not going to turn back, man.
Right.
You know?
So let me read this part. Verse 4, 2 Ezra 9 and 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things in the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Somebody Google the word manifest. What I believe it means, and we're going to see so I don't look like an idiot.
I think it means to be made clear.
Yeah, to where it all, grab 1 Corinthians.
But that's a spirit though, because what year 2020, year of prophecy,
2020 vision.
you know, Habakkuk 2 and 3. You know?
2020.
It's manifest, the definition, is as clear or obvious to the eye or mind, to display or show a quality of feeling by one's act or appearance, to demonstrate, be evidence of, to prove, become apparent through the appearance of symptoms, to appear.
It's becoming apparent.
Yeah.
And 2020 is supposed to be perfect vision.
Depth and
That's why we're still in the beginning of the year, and so much is happening.
Yeah.
The Lord is manifesting, you know, that we're coming into that time.
It says are readily perceived by the senses, and especially by the sense of sight, easily understood or recognized by the mind.
Okay. Easy to understand. You can see plainly. But we shall read that right quick. I don't know. You still got more on it, right?
Okay.
Read that in First Corinthians.
Start at 9.
Start at 9.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 9. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away.
That's what we're going to see, how everything's going to come into full fruition when Yahweh Shai shows up. Okay, because it's only going to look like it getting so bad, but when the Lord shows up, that's when you're going to be like, oh, it's exactly what the Bible was talking about. It's going to be made perfect. The whole scenario is going to be seen. Because people are going to be distracted by all the levels of destruction that's going on. Even when the missiles take off and we see the chariots, we're not going to know till the Lord actually shows up. And that's when your faith is going to be proven in that moment. Okay, so everything has to build you up to that moment. The whole moment is building up to it. Or jump to you can read the language.
Verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child.
Yep.
I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
But that took the process. Experience, situations, trial and error, all those things took time. Just like all the things in the world. You don't just get to the end and skip the book.
It's
You
like-
miss all the meat that's in the book.
It's like you learn in school when you tell a
Right.
story. Plot, setting,
Yep.
antagonist, protagonist, climax.
Yeah, set all that up.
Yeah,
And this is building up to the climax.
yeah, God.
Yeah.
Verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but
we
then
can't see the whole picture. You know, but the minute the Lord can see it, can see where it's going. Do we know perfectly what it is? Do we know exactly how it's going to play out, or exact things?
We just know it by what the scriptures say.
Exactly.
We only know by what the words say. You know?
Right? But when it actually happens into full fruition, that's when there's going to be no doubt that it lined right up with the scriptures we're talking about. Go ahead.
for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face.
But then, like with your own eyes. Go ahead.
Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known.
Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as I am also known. It's going to be of the truth. I know I'm alive and standing right here. It's going to be just that same real. Watching everything fall into place. So go back to your definition of it.
Right, and it's back manifest. It says to make evident or certain by showing or displaying.
By showing and displaying. It's going to be like right before your eyes.
God, the prophecies, man. Like the brother's been saying, the prophecies coming to pass. But that's how we're judging the times that we're in, man. You know? As some synonyms, it says to make clear
To
cut.
make clear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clear cut, evident, distinct.
And evident, what's the definition of faith? The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But when it comes true, it'll be seen, it'll be manifest.
It's basically the confirmation of the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Confirmation.
the faith is that, like it tells us in
It is true. That's right.
was that 2nd Ezra 15, where it says when he told Ezra to write
Write the vision and make
write
it
the vision
plain.
and make it
Plain
plain
on
on tables,
tables.
for they shall be faithful and true.
Yep.
Basically, they're gonna be shown to be evident
Kind.
Right.
when it comes to pass.
It will be made clear.
It's gonna be made clear, you know.
Right.
Right. It says obvious, open and shut.
Hey, because a lot of
It's gonna be made obvious.
yeah, a lot of people have doubt because they don't have any proof.
Yeah.
And they don't have faith to believe it without seeing it. You know?
They need tangible evidence.
They need tangible evidence. Exactly.
Straightforward, transparent, unmistakable.
Mhm.
Let's see this one.
Like that, in that day, they're gonna know who the Most High is.
Yeah.
He's the power that made the universe, and there ain't gonna be no mistake.
That's pretty much it.
Let
Yeah,
me go
man.
back real quick.
And it's gonna scare the shit out of the people when he finally starts to really show his full hand. You know, like the Lord, he's starting to bring back the plagues, that he, used to use to scare the shit out of the heathen. The Lord said He's gonna bring about the plagues in Egypt again.
Bro.
We ain't seen that yet.
Yeah.
We saw a little glimpse here in Vegas with the locusts. It's actually
10
worse
days of difference.
over there in Africa and in Pakistan right now.
30 miles
Yeah.
of locusts.
Running through shit.
We thought we saw shit over here months ago. Man,
They actually eating over there. Right?
yeah, they say it's a what they use the term according to biblical proportion.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically a biblical plague of locusts over there right now.
Reminding them of Egypt.
Reminding them of what the Lord did to ancient Egypt.
Reminding the
Hey,
world.
Con, and you
Saying
got-
the Lord is doing these things while the world is still not in fear. They're wondering like, damn, like what the hell is going on? But they still not considering that you don't see why the Lord is doing these things
Right,
in the
that's
earth.
the thing. They just see the world happen that they think it should, and then weirdo plagues and stuff happen. No, it's the wickedness that y'all.
They want to play it off
perpetuate.
as weather phenomenon.
Right.
Or
Global warming and
drought.
Climate change, global warming.
In the ancient world, people knew because the known world was so close, intact, versus now where everything's spread out.
Yeah.
And the connection to people.
Yeah. So in the ancient world, it was right there.
And I forget, I don't know what land was it that had suffered an earthquake, but it opened up the ground.
Turkey.
It might have been Turkey, but when it opened up the ground, it was like blood. It looked like it was blood coming up out the ground. I gotta find it, man. But this is recent.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be seeing a lot of strange shit, supernatural things that's gonna occur because that's the Lord basically making Himself manifest among the people. And and the Lord using us out here to declare among the nations His glory.
Yeah.
That it's Him. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is bringing these strange
Yahweh.
wonders.
He is.
You know.
And it won't be any scientific explanation. They're gonna be looking like shit. We don't know
Yeah,
either,
they
man.
can't find- Hey, who was it, man? It was a studies on how they keep finding these radio frequencies
Oh yeah, yeah.
in the
yeah.
outer space.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's done under a certain sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And those scientists, those astrologers, they can't figure out how the hell they can't give a scientific explanation behind it. They're trying to research it and they coming up short. But you can't. Like every 16 minutes, it's growing forth a certain radio frequency. They're trying to figure out where the hell is this coming from.
Like far out where they never even thought about research. Like they can't even get that far.
Yeah.
Like galaxies away.
Yeah. That's the Lord basically. He's testing out Esau's wise men, and his wise men are falling short. Hey, that's part of their wise men perishing.
Wisdom.
Is the wisdom out of Teman perished? Your astrologers should be able to figure that out.
Yeah, bro, it was Turkey.
It was
Turkey, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 6.8 magnitude earthquake that made a blood-like liquid seem to bleed through the ground as the earthquake tore apart the ground.
So, so the earth bled from that earthquake. So we're gonna be seeing all type of strange occurrences, man.
Yo.
Let me read this. Yeah.
Right.
Verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs.
Yeah.
So these earthquakes, upwards of people, some things we named, all right. And also that blood-like substance, the plagues of Egypt, the chariots in the sky. What's the other one I was thinking of?
The moons?
The moons. The eclipses, polar vortexes and things like that, man. That's how we know. Super wolf
Blood moons.
Yep. All of those. Okay, those are the signs that he talked about will be coming in the end. And those signs are coming forth. Those prophecies, we're seeing them happen. That was it.
Now, was there somebody get Sirach 36? Start up. Sirach 36, yeah.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36, and verse 1. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, power above, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee.
Hey, have mercy on us. And send your wrath and your fury upon those that don't know you, that don't fear you. You know, because right now, the world is not in, they don't have the proper fear. That's why they don't have a problem with being homosexuals, lesbians. They don't give a damn about, you know, committing adultery. You know, they don't care about, you know, if their children grow up and, you know, if their child want to change their gender, they can go ahead and do that. You're supposed to be supportive of your children no matter what. You know, that's the mindset of this current world, man. It's totally mad.
Was that the game that came back and was like, you know, being one of the hardest things in the streets and shit? Talking about, you know, until you think about it, where that's your child, you love your child. And in the ancient world, they didn't deal with that, man. They put that kid to death. Something's wrong. He got demons on him.
You love the child, or you love the Most High more?
Right.
Which one? To put away, what you gonna do?
And really, that means that you don't care. You don't care for your child.
Yeah.
Right.
If you willing to support your child in anything that they do,
Yeah, you don't love them.
you don't love them, man.
You're not wise.
Yeah.
Because when they do things that aren't wise, you will stop it.
Hey, the
Put
scriptures
them back on the wise
The
path.
scripture tell you that fools despise wisdom, you know, because that's why, like the brothers was saying, man. That's why I say rebuke before all, so that others may fear, man. Because in the time, in the ancient world, if a case like that appeared, what happened? That judgment will go down in front of everybody, man, to let everybody know, hey, this is off, man, according to the scriptures.
Yeah.
You know, that the scriptures say that they work it the way which is unseemly, man.
Yeah, man. So that's why the Lord, he's gonna do his thing, man. You know, and we're only coming into the beginning of sorrows. You know, the more you people behave yourself, you know, very radically and wicked, you know, wickedly, and very boldly and proudly, the more the Lord's gonna open up, man, with his judgment. You're gonna send more and more plagues, more devastation, man. It's gonna get constantly worse and worse. Hey, the Lord's gonna match the spirit of you people, man. The level of wickedness that you people are doing, the level of judgment the Lord's gonna bring as well. He's gonna match your level of wickedness with judgment.
Yeah.
You know? When Esau, you know, basically destroying the planet, man, doing what he's doing, that's why all these natural disasters are happening. You know? That's the earth basically responding to what Esau is doing. The animals are sick and tired of him. All right?
Like if you drill in the earth like Esau does with the oil, eventually the earth is going to react.
You take the gold out of the earth, it's gonna react. You take the oil out, like we said. You mess up the water. You displace animals.
Shit, you
certain plants.
cut down the trees.
Cutting down trees, burning.
Keep
all this
destroying
is
the
gonna-
ecosystem.
This thing is gonna have to react to that, because it's just like the body naturally wants to heal itself. The earth naturally wants to heal itself. You know. I got some.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra 15. Let me see. I'll start up at 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, meaning they're going to happen, they're going to be seen clearly, right? It says, fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Are they dead now? It don't look like it looks like they prosper. It's not gonna look like they. It don't look like they're gonna get taken out of power. Right? It says, "Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled."
Yeah.
So all of that has to come to full fruition. The highest level that the Most High will accept. I won't say accept, will endure until he has to do it. So you have to make a move.
Yeah, and that goes to show you when the Lord has to make a move like this, where he's constantly just wiping people out, That's because you moved the Most High to that age. All right? Because the Lord is very long-suffering, man. Like he was at, I think it's a Habakkuk or Nahum, where it says that the Lord is great in power.
Rich in mercy.
Somebody find
Something
that.
like that.
Because the Lord, He'll let you, build your wickedness up. He ain't gonna automatically just act upon you. The Lord doesn't do things immediate like we do. He doesn't react like we do.
Impulsive.
Our patience isn't on the same level of the Most High.
He's not impulsive like we are.
Yeah.
He don't make moves in haste.
That shows you how the level of power that he has and intelligence. He doesn't forget anything. The fact that the Lord remembers what happened thousands of years ago, that he's still going to judge Esau for.
Yeah.
So all the wickedness that the world has been partaking in for all this time, hell, even going all the way back to the time of Adam. The Lord had to clear this earth out before, and the earth, the Lord preserved, his Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and they was able to procreate, and they was able to bring back the population of the earth. But it seemed like, what did that do? the earth went back to its wickedness, And as time went on, as time progressed, it got worse and worse, So what do you think the Lord, the fact that all these things has happened throughout all these millenniums, and here we're here in the Babylon the Great, where wickedness is at its height. It's at its highest that it's ever been in the history of the planet. That takes a lot of patience to have to deal with that, man. He's sitting in the heavens, but he's a man that he's a God that he should not lie. He's bound by his word. It's for the sake of prophecy as to why he didn't just just clear everything out years ago. That's why we're still here. That's why Esau's still in power.
That's why he didn't wipe us out when we came out of Egypt. Remember with the.
Yeah, he was ready to take us out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
The Lord still had, mercy on us, man.
So look what he did in the flood. He was pissed at everybody. He said he repented that he had made man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That meant that there was a lot of evil going on back then.
See what I set this up for.
Yeah.
All right. Let me read this. Verse 7, therefore saith the Lord Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold.
And what are some of these things that our people are exercising themselves in? Murder, theft, adultery, idolatry, homosexuality, witchcraft, bestiality,
idol worship,
pedophilia, extortion. All right, coming up with all type of schemes to extort, the poor men.
In the name of God.
Yeah.
And stuff, all of those things in the name of God even.
And Israel oppressed Israel more than anybody else. When you see how we are against each other, man, our people, how they are against each other, man, they oppress themselves more than anybody else. And nations don't even have to do nothing, man. You niggas have been trained to oppress each other.
And it's systemic at this point.
Yeah.
The other nations.
When you niggas make it, what happened? When you niggas make it, when Esau allowed some of you niggas to make it, what did he train you niggas to do? He trained you to look down upon your other people, and basically he'll make you a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And you get to decide who you want to pull up there with you, or who you want to permit.
Because not everybody can go.
Yeah.
Everybody can't be a part of it. Other nations, their whole nation can enjoy some level of it. Not ours.
They don't look out for each other, man.
It's a rare few.
They don't look out for each other, man.
It says, behold, the innocent and righteous.
Hey, but Salakia, this isn't just for our people. The whole world is practicing these things, man.
Right.
The whole world is in continual sin,
Including our people.
including our people, man.
2/3 especially.
You know, and they're really conversant with the heathen, especially with Esau. Our people figure in order for us to get ahead, we gotta, you know, we gotta envy him and do what he say.
Crabs in a barrel.
You know.
It says, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, said the Lord Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Because that's another thing. Throughout the different generations, the servants, the prophets, they were all being slain and put to death by Israel. So the Lord also going to require that as well.
Yeah.
All right, that pisses the Most High off, man. Because the prophets, that's his mouthpiece.
I sent them out there to provide a service for you. That's why I call them public service announcements.
Yeah.
Send them out there to help you, let you know something, and speaking for me, and you kill them because you don't like the message.
Kill the messengers.
Yeah.
Luke 11:47. Woe unto you, for ye build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. Truly ye bear witness that ye allow the
Yeah, because why they do that? Why do our people do that? Because they don't want the prophecies to come true. And usually the prophets are prophesying of what things? Evil, war, pestilence, you know, famine, plagues, things that our people don't want to have to deal with. Even in captivity, look what the message was saying. Hey, we got to go through these plagues and all these tribulations and evils, but guess what? At the end of it, we get out of captivity. Our people rather stay in captivity than go through these things.
Even when we bring out the good news,
Yeah.
that they are the Israelites, that they qualify for salvation, they still don't believe. You know? They don't believe either way. They don't believe the good news. They don't believe, and they sure as hell don't want to believe the bad news.
Right. They're going to act like the bad news not going to happen if they don't believe in it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Truly ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed killed them, and ye built their sepulchres. Therefore also said the wisdom of Yahweh, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation.
And that same generation is going to be made manifest in this time. They're already being made manifest. And some of them even come in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Those niggas, they killed the prophets, man. The ones that come against us, that scoff against us, or they slander us, they call us all type of pedophiles and rapists. Hey, you might as well put us to death. If you really feel that we're these things, you might as well come kill us. Because that's a heavy thing to label someone.
Because
people that has that title, they're known to get put to death or tortured or hurt, badly hurt.
Because when Esau roll on us, they're not gonna stand up for us.
No,
they're not gonna have nothing to do with us. So they, like you say, they might as well, kill us and
You know they do the online votes. How do you think Trump's presidency is going? Vote mark
First Thessalonians
click
2.
yes for good, click no for bad, right? Well, they're going to do a census with our people and they're going to deny us. Just like they deny Yahweh Shai. Except free Barabbas. Or Barabbas, a lot of you want to pronounce it. Okay.
No, First Thessalonians 2:14.
First Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 14. For ye brethren became followers of the churches of the Most High, which is in Judea, or in Yahweh Shai, Mashiach. For ye also have suffered like things of your own countrymen, even as they have of the Jews, who both killed the Lord Yahweh Shai and their own prophets, and have persecuted us. and they please not Yahweh, and are contrary to all men,
Yep.
forbidding us to speak to the Gentiles.
Forbidding them to speak, you know. They was catching a hard time preaching the gospel to the Israelite foreigners.
Yeah.
You know, to the point that, you know, they would lie on them. They would try to beat them, get them locked up, put in prison. You know, Apostle Paul himself, he got stoned to death. And the Lord had to bring him back so he could continue the ministry. You know, these emotional ass 2/3 niggas, man. You see how emotional they get? When you get so emotional, you tend to use violence as a means to rationalize. You know?
Emotion.
Yeah.
Way to rationalize.
You know? The most emotional people are very violent, man. Mm-hmm. So our people, when they heard the truth, they got emotional because it cut to the soul. Yeah. So they want to, put hands on the apostles and disciples. They want to the point they want to kill them. You had men making pacts about, hey, we ain't gonna eat or drink until we kill this nigga. You know, we gonna actually make a straight vow. We gonna make an oath that we're not gonna eat or drink until we get Apostle Paul's head. That type of spirit is still here.
Yeah, it's coming back in a major way.
You know, niggas want us dead, man. Go ahead, man.
Forbidding us to speak to the Gentiles that they might be saved, to fill up their sins always, for the wrath is come upon them to the uttermost.
It said to fill up their sins to. So, for so long, you've been just killing the prophets. Every time the prophets came, in their lot, you put hands on them, you mistreated them, or you put them to death. So, that fulfillment is also going to be within the anger of the Lord, of Him getting vengeance, killing the 2/3 of our people, man. And also what you did to Yahweh Shai, man, when you gave them up. Okay, so that's part of the exercises being fulfilled that you read in 2nd Ezra 15. All your hurtful works have been fulfilled.
Yeah.
Hey, that's across the board, man. The 2/3 of our people that reject the prophets, that reject Yahweh Shai, and also with the abominations that the people are doing.
Niggas that said that we have no king but
Caesar.
Yeah. Same thing today. We not Israelites, we American.
Yeah.
So, 2nd Chronicles, chapter 36, and verse 15. And the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up bedtimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh and despised his words and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy.
So the Lord allowed it to happen until you got him to his last straw. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's at his last straw with you people, man. The 2/3 of our people, even the guys that know that they're Israelites, man. The Lord's ready to start killing you, man. He said judgment shall begin at his house, man. At his sanctuary. That's men that know that they're Israel. You got niggas that come on the comment board